Welcome to South Asia Maps, Mitram and Bandhuvam. This is your presenter J. Reddy. We are continuing our discussion about the Mughal history, Mughal Empire in Bharat as a playlist called Islamic Jannat Visas. You can see here Islamic Jannat Visa. Why I have given this particular playlist title means every Muslim, Islamic proselyte convert automatically goes to Islamic Jannat. That has a many different compartments, hierarchies, and some people goes to and live in apartment next to the residence of Allah, like Muhammad and all those Ali and all those people, and every Muslim goes and gets a lesser type of apartments. That is a creedal belief system. And here the entire concept is a very violent, aggressive, militant ideology. Lot of militancy in its politics and history. That's the point I am discussing. That's why I use this particular playlist. Here we are talking about Aurangzeb and Shah Jahan, their relations between the estranged son and father, where the son, that is Aurangzeb, stamped this Islamic Jannat visas on the passports of his brother like Dara, Shiko, and his nephew Suleiman Shiko, and his younger brother Murad and sister Roshanara, but he withholds or denies this particular Islamic Jannat visa, the region we are talking about. So the subtitle is Alam Pana Padshah withholds, that means denies, Islamic Jannat visa stamp on the passport of deposed monarch, a prisoner in Agra fort, former Alampana, the current Alampana Aurangazeb, former Alampana Shah Jahan. That is the entire discussion topic of today's presentation. The thumbnail gives the geographical context, historical context of today's our discussion of Islamic Jannat visas, its denial to Shah Jahan by his son, part of Mughal Empire. This is the Mughal Empire, 1682. That means by 1682, Aurangzeb completed almost 25 years rule from North India. Now he is in Aurangabad, Deccan, to fight against Marathas and Vijapuri Sultans and Qutub Shahi Golconda Sultans. This is the political Subahs map of particular time. The Persian Safavid Empire, Kabul province, Kandahar province, the key provinces, Subahs, Lahore, Delhi, Agra and Ayodhya, that is Awadh, then Allahabad, then Bihar, Bengal and Orissa. Ahoms ruled from here, and the other central province, Malwa, Dakhani Subhas, Dakhani provinces, that is Kandesh, that is Dhulia, Jalgaon, Nandurbar, those areas, Bera, that is Akola, Amravati, Buldana, Nagpur, and Aurangabad, Bidar, Bijapur kingdom, Golconda kingdom, Shahia kingdom, Shia kingdoms in South India. The Portuguese pirates and proselytizers, converters, established their headquarters. That is Yehuve's kingdom, Catholic outpost, imperial outpost at Goa, the island of Gomantak. Then we have Keladi Nayaks, Ikeri Nayaks, the derived remnants of Vijayanagara Empire. Then Calicut, Jamorin, Cochin Rajas, Venad kingdom, that is Travancore kingdom. Then the Nayaks of Madurai and Marathas ruled here. Sambhaji passed away 1680. His son Chhatrapati Shambhu and his collateral family Marathas of Tanjavur in Karnataka, Mysore Wadayars and Gondwana Adivasi Rajas, and this is other kingdom. Shah Jahan born in 92, passed away 1666. His consort, Mumtaz Mahal, 1 year junior to him, passed away 1631. She delivered her last child. She delivered more than 12. In the marriage, the last child, Gauharara Begum, was delivered in Burhanpur, and the child survived. The mother passed away. The 7 children survived: Jaharara Begum, Dara Shuko, Shah Shuja, Roshanara Begum, Aurangzeb, Alamgir, 1618 to 1707. Almost 90 years he lived. Murad Baksh, Gauharara Begum. Mahayogi Sri Ram Swarup, in his fascinating works, is one of the greatest thinkers of modern India, associated with Voice of India think tank, wrote an interesting book, Understanding Islam Through Hadith, Religious Faith or Fanaticism, subtitled Mahayogi Sri Ram Swarup Ji, and his associate Sitaram Goyal Mahadrishta and Mahagnani Coinrod Elst, and some of the excerpts we'll be talking now are taken from his book. He says native religion is a concept of pantheistic, that means everybody, in spite of his what belief he is born, goes to heaven due to his good works. Pantheistic means God present everywhere. Whereas a conversion-based ideology is militant creeds like Islam and Christianity, which lacks any spirituality. They're pandemic, that means demonic. There is a devil in a human being, and you have to accept a favorite like Yahweh and his son, or Allah, his dealer or Rasul or mediator, in order to go entitled to Jannat. That is pandemic, pantheistic. Native religions versus conversion-based ideologies. Here the point is, in 1657, September, Shah Jahan fell severely ill due to strangury. That means the emperor was unable to pass motion and urine. That's a very serious issue. Modern times, the medicines are available, is very easily curable. So, it is thought that he already dead, going to die within a couple of days. Civil war broke down, war of succession among his sons. And I will not get into detail, that is Battle of Bahadurpur. Shah Shuja was the Subadar here. He was defeated by Dara's forces. Dara was with father in Agra. He's a de facto emperor, took the entire control of the Mughal Empire. Other son Murad Baksh was in Gujarat as Ahmedabad as a Subadar, and the serious contender Aurangazeb was at Aurangabad in Deccan. Both brothers combined moved their army Lashkar. They defeated Dara's forces, sent near Indur, Ujjain in Malwa, Battle of Dharmat, April 15. Within 6 weeks, the brothers moved, the defiant brothers, and defeated Dara at Battle of Samugar and May 30. Immediately, Dara fled to Delhi. Now, Aurangazeb is a de facto the ruler. He won the civil wars, war of succession. And his father, Shah Jahan, asked him to come to the Agra fort for an audience. And Aurangazeb is not a person who can buy this fish. He will not buy it. What he did was, he cut off the water supply to Agra fort, and his father capitulated. And within a couple of months, Aurangzeb will stamp this visa, Jannat visa, on the passport of Dara Shikoh and his son Suleiman Shikoh, eventually, and Roshanara Begum after a few years, and Murad Baksh within 2 years. But he was counseled by his advisors not to stamp this Islamic Jannat visa on his estranged, deposed father's Momin passport. He just imprisoned him and kept him alive. Of course, prisoner means not like today's prison. He was fed very well and he was entertained, but he was not allowed to talk to anybody, not correspond to anybody. In the daytime, he was entertained lavishly by the dancing girls, Nach girls. In the night and evening, Maulanas used to come and read Quran and Hadith and solace the emperor. Emperor carried on his miserable, pitiable life from 58 to 66, almost 7+ years, passed away in January. So that is the topic of discussion, that is Alampana Padshah Aurangazeb withholds Islamic Jannat visa stamp. He denies the visa on the passport of his deposed monarch, prisoner farmer Alampana Shah Jahan. If you have not looked at my Intellectual Chhatri Education channel, South Asia Maps YouTube channel JRD, I strongly recommend you, Mitroman Bandhu. Please go there, and there are more than 150 fascinating presentations posted with meticulously made maps and images. You can subscribe the channel if you like it and put your comments. And here, this is the map where we can see the two brothers, the younger brother Murad Baksh and his elder brother Aurangzeb. They were from this is Aurangabad and this is Ahmedabad. They combined their armed forces, defeated Dara's force at Dharmat, Ujjain, later moved, crossed Chambal River at Dholpur. At Battle of Samogar, they defeated Dara Shikoh fled, and father Shah Jahan was at Agra, and Aurangzeb cut off the water supply, and father submitted to the son, and he was made prisoner and allowed to live, and his head was not taken away because that will invite lot of negative image for the current the ruler Alampana Aurangzeb. So he spared him. This is the book we talked about, Understanding Islam Through Hadith, Religious Faith or Fanaticism, Mahayogi Sri Ram Swarup. We can see here Emperor Shah Jahan, the Shah Jahan Ghazi, the Islamic ruler, the Islamic Jilod, but his Jilodry was lesser than his son. The funerary architecture, Aldous Huxley, one of the major thinker in the West, criticizes Islamic architecture as a funerary. There is nothing but just to building some structures with marbles and the dead persons, called funerary architecture, Taj Mahal. And here you can see the final years, and nursed by his very sympathetic daughter Jaharara Begum, who was unmarried and used to take care of her, the father, and father sit in front in the Agra forts, watch every day Taj Mahal, his favorite queen's mausoleum, funerary architecture. Passing away, Shah Jahan in 1666 January was buried next to Mumtaz Mahal, his favorite consort. Aurangzeb was sent as a viceroy to Deccan in 1654, and the succession war started in 58, and father passed away in 1666. Almost 16 years, son never saw face to face his father after he was sent to as a viceroy second time to Deccan as Subadar at Aurangabad. That means after he imprisoned his father, the father survived almost 7+ years. There was no correspondence between father and son at all, and it was totally estranged. And Aurangzeb ruled from Delhi, and father was imprisoned in Agra. Only when Shah Jahan passed away in January 66, next Darbar was held in Agra. That was around about June or so, 1666, where he first time and only one time invited and saw face to face Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And this is the stranglery that Aurangzeb suffered from, Aurangzeb's father strangury, that means a painful discharge of small volumes of urine. That is about today's fascinating discussion. I have posted this under the playlist Islamic Jannat, as we discussed, essentially discussing the Mughal violent history and assassinations and so on in the closed militant creed of Islam, and just with adding some myth. So called it Islamic Jannat visa being denied to Father Shah Jahan for certain political reasons by his son. Thank you very much. See you later. This is your presenter J. Reddy.